Summer camp can be the trip of a lifetime for so many kids, but for parents it can be a little scary, especially if you're worried about keeping your child healthy, knowing they're going to be far from home. Joining me now is Dr. Elizabeth Mead with Swedish Medical Center. Thanks again for joining us.
Good morning.
What kinds of information do you need to share with the camp as far as what your child needs before camp happens?
Yeah, so I think if your child is on any medications that they take every day, you need to share that with the camp. If they have any allergies to medicines or even to things in the environment like bee stings. And then if they have any chronic health conditions, it's really important to talk to the camp beforehand about what those conditions are, what to do in case of an emergency, like if a child has a seizure disorder, and then to give their doctor's name and contact information to the camp as well.
We talk about vaccinations being needed for the school year. Are vaccinations of any kind needed for camp? Is that something to consider?
We just recommend all the usual vaccinations, with the exception that if your child is going to be going to some camp that's outside of the country, it's important to ask if there are any additional vaccines that they need.
What are some things parents can do to prepare their kids for summer camp, especially if it's their first time? And how far in advance do you start having that conversation?
I think it's great to start having that conversation pretty far in advance. There are some things that parents can do to kind of try to prevent homesickness in kids. So I know, but it's, the good thing about homesickness is that when they get over it, they feel really accomplished and like they've gone out on their own and done something independent and empowered. So I think involving your child in choosing the camp that they're going to go to is actually really helpful. It creates some excitement in them. They feel like they have some control over where they're going to be. And then talking about homesickness in advance is fine. It's okay to say, you might feel a little bit sad or like you miss us, but keep things in a really positive light and just kind of reframe for them what they're going to get out of it. And then it's good actually not to have kind of a backup pickup plan that you talk about a lot. So it's great to not make it a super easy option for kids to leave the moment that they feel homesick, because usually when they stay, they have a great time.
How do you handle it though when they do call you from camp and say, I'm homesick, I want to come home? How do you kind of help encourage them? And is there a time where it's serious enough that you do need to go pick them up?
I think if your child is having real distress or anxiety, if they're feeling like they are not having fun, they're really sad, they want to come home, or if the camp staff is saying to you, they're just not adjusting well, this might not be a good fit for them, or they might not be ready, then it is fine to go and pick your child up. But sometimes if you have conversations with them about, well, do you want to give it one more day or another couple days, or, let's make a plan. If you're not feeling better by this time, then we'll come and get you. A lot of times by that transition point, kids are like, I just want to stay, this is great.
Because they get distracted, hopefully.
Yeah, and they make friends, they get to know other people. I think there's so much self-consciousness that comes with going to a new place, a new school or a new camp or any new peer group. And so as they get to know people and they feel more comfortable, they really kind of take some leadership.
And if they do get sick at camp, if they come down with the flu or the cold, how are you guiding them through that?
So again, it depends on the camp that your child is at. So if they have a nurse or a physician there, then they can help assess and decide whether they think the child needs to come home or not. Certainly if there's anything serious like a seizure or a chronic medical condition that kind of flares up, or the child has a really bad allergic reaction to something, then those might be times to think about it. You can also always call your pediatrician and ask them, this is what happened, what do you think? And they'll be able to give some good advice.
Dr. Elizabeth Mead with Swedish Medical Center. Thank you. Great
You're welcome.
advice as always.